This is Land of Havilah, Psalm 33. It's anonymous and 22 verses. We'll take it in sections. Verse 1. Rejoice in Yahweh, you righteous. Praise is fitting for the upright. Give thanks to Yahweh with the lyre. Sing praises to him with the harp of 10 strings. Sing to him a new song. Play skillfully with a shout of joy. Comment verses 1 to 3 are commandments, but not burdensome ones. It doesn't take anything out of us to rejoice in Yahweh, praise him, give thanks to him, sing to him, and if we know how to play skillfully on a musical instrument, in fact, it makes us buoyant. Coming up, here's why we should. Verse 4. For Yahweh's word is right. His work is done in all faithfulness. He loves righteousness and justice. The earth is full of the loving kindness of Yahweh. By Yahweh's word the heavens were made, all their army by the breath of his mouth. He gathers the waters of the sea together as a heap. He lays up the deeps in storehouses. Comment in verse 4, Yahweh's word is right. It's right factually, morally, any way you want to slice it. It sets us straight from our misconceptions. The world's in a twisted mess. Yahweh's word sets it straight. In verse 4, all his work is done in faithfulness. He's faithful to his own perfect character. He doesn't lie, mislead, deceive, slander, forget, fail, or do anything that he doesn't uphold his steadfast and faithful nature. We can count on him. In verse 5, we can praise him because he loves righteousness and justice, and the earth is full of his loving kindness. If someone says, that's not the world I live in, my world's full of evil, well, then stop scoffing and pray he'll open your eyes to him. In verse 6, we should praise him because he made the heavens and all their army being all the objects of the sky. In verse 6, as in Genesis chapter 1, he made the heavenly bodies by the breath of his mouth, by speaking them into existence. Coming up, if we understand God, we'll fear him and stand in awe of him. Verse 8, let all the earth fear Yahweh. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. For he spoke, and it was done. He commanded, and it stood firm. Yahweh brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the thoughts of the peoples to be of no effect. The counsel of Yahweh stands forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Comment in verse 11, the counsel of Yahweh is two things. It's his written word and his communication to us inwardly. Someone might say, I don't think the Bible's accurate. May you learn better quickly, my friend. Someone else might say, I think the Bible's accurate, and I know it teaches he speaks to us inwardly, but I wish he would speak more plainly. To say that is to fault God. He doesn't mumble. Listen better is the answer. In verse 11, quote, the counsel of Yahweh stands forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations, end quote, meaning two things. First, his general principles always hold true, and second, he keeps speaking to all generations. Since all of the above is true, verse 12, blessed is the nation whose God is Yahweh, the people whom he has chosen for his own inheritance. Yahweh looks from heaven. He sees all the sons of men. From the place of his habitation he looks out on all the inhabitants of the earth, he who fashions all of their hearts, and he considers all of their works. Comment, God sees and examines us all the time. He sees all the moving pieces, all the thoughts and activities of every individual. He sees the big picture on the international level, down to the minutia of the personal level. As he watches, verse 16, there is no king saved by the multitude of an army. A mighty man is not delivered by great strength. A horse is a vain thing for safety, neither does he deliver any by his great power. Behold, Yahweh's eye is on those who fear him, on those who hope in his loving kindness, to deliver their soul from death, to keep them alive in famine. Comment, he intervenes on behalf of those who fear him. From Job 5:20, quote, in famine he will redeem you from death, in war from the power of the sword, end quote. In other words, whatever the situation is, God will bring us through it to the point that we forget it on account of all the good that's coming, Genesis 41:51. And in verses 16 through 19, quote, there is no king saved by the multitude of his army. A mighty man is not delivered by great strength. A horse is a vain thing for safety, neither does he deliver any by his great power, end quote. All these things might help, a great army, great strength, great talent, having all the possible advantages, but God's intervention overrides them all. Verse 20, Our soul has waited for Yahweh. He's our help and our shield. For our heart rejoices in Him because we've trusted in His holy name. Let your loving kindness be on us, Yahweh, since we've hoped in you. Comment Psalm 34 is next.